What's going on, y'all? Back at Your Eyes and Ears Don't Lie. And today's topic is this fake ass bullshit manufactured MAGA angry over the Epstein shit. Y'all clowns need to stop it. Because there is no new evidence that has been uncovered that wasn't available before y'all decided to elect this pervert. And now you trying to act like you mad because you didn't get to see the files. Quit playing games, acting like you got morals and that you care and that you the party that want to protect kids when the administration is full of sexual deviants and molesters and cats that have had sex with minors and shit. It's full of sexual deviance, so don't act like you care. Because one thing that you'll find from all these MAGA supporters, you'll never catch one of them saying he didn't do it. They just don't give a fuck. Now you want to be mad because Pam Bondi, with her old dumbass, degenerate, unfit, been declared unfit by her peers prior to getting this position she don't deserve from her misconduct. She don't come out and say there is no Epstein list. Bitch, didn't you forget that you already said there was an Epstein list on your desk that you had to review at the president's request? It's like, you just banking on everybody being as stupid as your voters. That's what Trump doing. He banking on everybody being as dumb as his supporters. Or just so morally challenged, devious, dirty pedophiles like himself, or whatever you want to call it. You just expect that since they let you get this far, it ain't gonna bother them anyway, but you damn sure ain't gonna release them files because it's even more incriminating than what obvious, reasonable people would expect based on the available videos, the photos, the recordings of Epstein talking about your relationship between him and Trump himself, what Trump used to talk about as far as how he discussed their relationship. So now y'all mad still because you didn't get the release of the Epstein files that a guilty participant promised to provide you? Who the hell thought, like, are you really that stupid? You really thought that a man that's a co-conspirator or a participator in all of that, or at least some of it to a degree, was gonna snitch on himself? I know he's stupid and he says a lot of dumb shit, but you think he gonna snitch on himself? Come on now. Pam Bondi. So she gonna release that Department of Justice memo that just came out talking about y'all concluded no credible evidence of a client list or blackmail operations. No basis to investigate uncharged third parties, including Trump. Y'all tripping. But y'all the law and order party, right? The accountability party, right? The party that's gonna protect kids. The party that's gonna protect and look out for women. Y'all some clowns. Obvious bullshit. Y'all did none of the sort. You ain't considering protecting women because your party is a bunch of bigots and sexist clowns that think women are your property. And they too stupid to realize how you really view them. Because if it was up to y'all, there would have been no civil rights movement. And they damn sure wouldn't have gave y'all the right to vote if it was up to them. But y'all want to support a party that wants to take all of your rights away in decision making. But I'm going to throw something out there for you. Let's talk about proven stuff that's been researched, witnesses, government agencies, the court case that Epstein went through, the court case that Maxwell went through, and even some of this Diddy shit. So let's break it down. So we'll start with documented interactions and social ties between Epstein and Trump. Now, mind you, none of this is new. This was all available before y'all decided to vote for him, but y'all didn't care. So quit trying to play games. Y'all didn't care. So now you out here trying to pump out your chest and talk about how mad you are. Y'all didn't give a fuck. You just trying to save a little face or whatever your issue is, y'all ain't even trying to do shit. Number one, socializing in the 1990s and 2000s, where Trump and Epstein were known to socialize in the same elite circles in the 90s. You got a 2000 photo with Trump and Melania, Epstein, and Maxwell together at Mar-a-Lago. Trump said in 2002 in the New York Magazine profile that he's known Jeffrey Epstein for 15 years. He's a terrific guy, and he's a lot of fun to be around. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them on the younger side. That's what Trump said. So it ain't no fake news when you said the shit yourself. 1992, Calendar Girl Party. Trump hosted a private party at his Mar-a-Lago location in 1992, where he invited 28 calendar girls. Only invited one other guest, which was Jeffrey Epstein. And that goes with the most recent release of the Daily Beast recording that Epstein is talking about, how Trump was asking him how he likes his wife and does he like being married and how often does he have sex, and told him he got a bunch of girls coming into town and for him to come back and they could take him upstairs. They didn't say the date, but I think they're talking about that 1992 Calendar Girl Party where 28 calendar girls came and he only invited Epstein. And there was an event organizer named James Haraney who later said he warned Trump at that time about Epstein's behavior with young girls, but Trump dismissed the concerns because birds of a feather flock together. So you were even warned at that time by an additional party that told you Epstein was no good and they knew what he was up to. But you didn't care. Why? Because sexual deviants hang out with sexual deviants. Birds of a feather flock together. And this is in the 2000s where you got the pictures of them, but this goes back to the 90s. This was 92 with this. Those 7 flights that came out during the trial, he took those in the 90s. So you were on the flights, and with all honesty, I'm gonna keep it 100. None of the flights went to Pedophile Island, but they went to New York and Mar-a-Lago and all kinds of other places. But of those 7 flights, you didn't go to Pedophile Island. But we know that ain't your only form of transportation on Epstein's planes, because he had more than one plane. But his primary plane, you were on it 7 times traveling with a guy you said you barely knew. Made many comments about underage girls. Told Roger Stone, a former Trump advisor who claimed Trump once joked after visiting Epstein's Palm Beach home, because you did a lot of dirt there too. So at his Palm Beach home, the swimming pool was filled with beautiful young girls. How nice, I thought. He let the neighborhood kids use his pool, is what Trump said. So he's always making creepy comments about little girls and women. And then only after their relationship became public and Epstein was in some shit again, legally, that Trump tried to distance himself. The former Trump aide, Sam Nunberg, stated that Trump only banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago only after his behavior became public and he was facing legal shit. But yet, Trump denies, first he said he never even knew him and never was on his stupid plane. And of course he's going to deny wrongdoing. But the craziest shit is, Trump was using Epstein's plane in 2024 to travel around on the campaign trail. Claimed that Trump Force One was having mechanical problems. So of all the planes in the world you could travel on, you were using Epstein's old plane? You're a real piece of shit. But that shows the callousness and the I don't give a fuck that he has. Because he's never been accountable for anything. He's always been a criminal. He's always been a sleazebag. So you can't change habits, especially when there's no punishment. He does all this shit and you don't do nothing. So it's like a little kid. If you don't set boundaries and discipline your kid when they're young, they just get worse. They just don't get to a point where they get so bad that they decide enough is enough and I'm going to change my ways. Not if you're not ever taught to be a decent person, an accountable person. Nah. Everybody heard about the extra tape where he talked about grabbing them by the I'm rich. I can do what I want. So this ain't even about my opinion or left or right or whatever media outlets that you may hear shit from. Listen to the man's words himself. That should be disqualifying enough with the shit he say out his mouth, not anybody else. So, I mean, this shit is ridiculous. Why y'all out here playing games like y'all the moral compass, that y'all the ones that are right. Y'all so full of shit, it's ridiculous. And then, that brings me to the Diddy shit. I didn't care less. I could care less about the trial. I've been knowing he's a dirtbag for the longest. I got friends that, yeah, I'm from Southern California, born and raised, still there. But I've come across people that have been in the music industry that are from New York. So I've been knowing about the stories they've been talking about him. And a lot of them rappers out there that, y'all undercover, but you ain't as undercover as you think with this little freaky weird shit. So I've been hearing about these stories since Puffy was with Uptown before he even left to create Bad Boy. That this dude was nasty and that you basically learned all this shit from Clive Davis. But how is that relevant right now? Because Diddy used to use the Trump International Hotel in New York. This is one of his favorite spots. He had a special suite that they kept on deck for him, and he had a key for it. Paid for everything in cash, so there was no paper trail. But you were great friends with Diddy and Trump. Trump even talked about how good they was friends and that he would consider pardoning them if necessary. So there's a lot of coincidences where you seem to like kicking it with dirty slime bag sexual deviants to not be one. We're talking about a man who once uttered to somebody in his administration that I wonder what it would be like to sleep with your daughter. What kind of sick, twisted individual says something like that? The orange-faced gremlin, that's who says something like that. It's ridiculous. Like, this is embarrassing for the country. You got everybody in the world thinking we just saw moralist, deceitful, sexual deviant, dirtbag son of a bitches. Because you looking at the population, if you another country, you're like, how could y'all elect this dude unless a lot of y'all is like that? And that's a good question, because we know the ones who didn't fuck with him. But there's 77 million people, whether you believe the election was fair or not, because we know there's some questionable shit about what the Republicans did to get 3 million votes thrown out for various reasons. They committed a lot of voter suppression that they've been doing for years to line it up and all kinds of bullshit. I believe they cheated in the election, because you look at some of the information available. You telling me that in some of these counties, they voted for a Democrat for everything, but then they voted Republican for the president? But either way, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it, because we know what they're about. But the question I do got to ask, and most reasonable people would, they spent so much time complaining about election shit and trying to change election laws to get ready for the next shit. So if you won, why you crying and trying to change everything if you won? I ain't never seen anybody win some shit and complain about the victory. Because you've already shown that the people that support you, they don't give a fuck about your wrongdoing. And that's like I said, they ain't never said you were innocent. I ain't heard not one Trump supporter ever speak about he's innocent, he didn't do it. What do y'all say? This is political. There's some truth to that. But the problem is that you're a piece of shit criminal that just happened to get into politics. So yeah, a lot of people in politics get away with bullshit, and they should punish everybody and go after everybody. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Your status or wealth shouldn't matter. And that is true. I believe that if you weren't running for president, they wouldn't have brought up some of the shit they did. But it still don't negate the fact that you committed all the crimes you're being accused of. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but it's funny how this selective fake-ass anger, where you mad now about Epstein files because you can't see them, but it's obvious why you can't see them, and you knew he was a dirtbag before. So quit playing games with yourself, because we ain't believing it. You only lying to yourself or trying to save what little bit of face you think you might be able to. MAGA's trash. You MAGA maggots ain't fooling nobody with this, how outraged you trying to act like you are on social media and in these fake ass little house things and shit. We know what Cash Patel's about. We know what Dan Boignano or whatever the hell your name is, Pam Bondi, all of y'all. Y'all ain't got no allegiance to law and order, the Constitution, or the country. Y'all swore an oath to that cult leader. That's it. That was the only prerequisite for you to get into this administration, is that you'll disregard everything except what he say. And you're just making yourselves look stupid as fuck. Because once he's gone, you still gonna look stupid as fuck. And y'all ain't as old as him. So y'all career should be over when you're done with this fucking Trump bullshit. And the public should see to that.